tumekuja mkutano kidogo na ndugu yetu Embarambamba na the acting CEO wa KFCB na CEO wa Music Corporate Society of Kenya na wakili wa Embarambamba Omari pamoja na wakili mwingine Shadrack na pia wakili wa KFCB ambaye yuko hapa pia. Embarambamba was actually summoned, but tukaamua tutafute njia tuketi mahali pamoja so that we try and resolve this whole issue. You all know what happened. He actually allegedly owes KFCB about 6-point-something million, and it's part of the discussion that we are having here. Na maneno ya content and the language that is used on video and everything. So the process has just started. We just sat to agree on the best way forward, because looking at him and his image, you will confirm that it is almost impossible for him to raise such amount of money. But that is really not the subject for discussion for now. The main point that we had here today was to find an amicable solution, and we agreed that going forward we engage outside the main judicial process and maybe engage or let me say outside court process and engage the ADR. We are limited to the ADR for now. Of course, not the witchcraft one that our former Chief Justice said, but at least we can be able to talk on how we can solve this whole issue together. And like you saw, Embarambamba has already started acting on some of the demands by KFCB, which he knows, he has facts within his knowledge. And that in itself has shown a bit of some remorsefulness and, acting within the law as the body may want him to operate under. But of course, in terms of business, he still progresses with his business and worship and praise, at least with the limitations of what is acceptable in society. That is generally what we discussed today. Thank you very much.
As you are aware, there was a small problem with one of my clans, commonly known as Embarambamba. We come from the same clan, the Kisi community. He had a problem with his videos. The entity that regulates that wrote him a demand letter and suspended him from functioning. I reached out to him, told him to come and see me. He came and saw me. But meanwhile, the ban had caused a lot of problem to all the Kisi leadership. The chief whip could not sleep the whole of yesterday night. All the community was up in arms that Embarambamba, because that is our brand in music, was now out of circulation. It also came to my brother, Ezekiel Mutua, which you know that he is the boss of Embarambamba. So in solidarity, my brother and my brother reached out with me. We decided to engage the entity in a manner that can resolve this dispute. So we have had a discussion and we've agreed that this matter does not need to go to court. This is a matter that we need to forge a relationship. Embarambamba has a following of more than 5 million people worldwide. If he's put out of circulation, those who watch him will sue Mutua and they'll sue the chief whip, because their role is to ensure artists, if they have made a mistake, they are corrected. They are not punished. Us as lawyers, under 159, we know that we can take these matters to ADR. So we have discussed with the chief whip, we have discussed with the boss here. He'll also give you his version, so that as we are talking now, Embarambamba will continue doing his stuff as the discussions are being done. We want to thank the members of the Fourth Estate for highlighting the plight of Embarambamba, and the whole world was worried that Embarambamba is no longer going to be an artist. Alikuwa amezuiwa asiendelee kufanya kazi. Tumefanya mazungumzo na tumeelewana na zile asasi za serikali, na namshukuru Ezekiel Mutua, namshukuru ndugu yangu Chief Whip, sababu ametupa mahali, tumeketi, tumezungumza na tumeelewana kwamba wale wafuasi zaidi ya milioni 5 wa Embarambamba wataweza kupata ngoma zake. Kidogo zitakuwa zitakatwa kidogo ili kulinganisha na sheria, lakini tunashukuru asasi za serikali kwa kukubali ombi letu kwamba wasianze kumshika Embarambamba, wasianze kumchukua kotini, waweze tuzungumze, tuweze kupata njia suluhisho kulingana na katiba.
Mr. Christopher Nyangwara Mosioma, aka Embarambamba, is our member of Music Corporate Society of Kenya, member number 4607, and he trades, of course, as Embarambamba. He has been charged by Kenya Film Classification Board for violating content creation regulations. And as you are aware that he got a letter that has been doing rounds on social media. I had a conversation with Embarambamba just a few days ago, I think on Saturday, and we agreed to start a process to see how we can change this amazing talent and creativity and energy into something that will promote our moral values and culture, and where we use this energy of Embarambamba not to destroy society but to build society. While Kenya Film Classification Board has to apply the law, we met under the leadership of Mheshimiwa Osoro in a very informal but a conscious way to see how we can resolve this issue out of court. And I'm very grateful that Wakili here and the Kenya Film Classification Board have agreed that we'll actually remove this matter out of court and we'll deal with it from an ADR perspective. Our desire as Music Corporate Society of Kenya is to mentor creatives like Embarambamba and others, and you are aware that majority of our young people are within this space. This is the space that can create jobs and wealth for our youth, and we don't want to appear that in the process of promoting morality and our culture, we kill creativity. We know that these people are looking for jobs. And so when Mheshimiwa reached out and we reached out to Wakili, we all came together with KFCB to one conclusion, that it is possible for us to do this matter under ADR, which is recognized in law, so that we mentor Embarambamba, we look at the penalties that have been spelled out and see how we can help all of us together and make this talent a more useful, productive and responsible contributor to the development of our country. So that this energy and the following that Embarambamba has through his creativity is going to become a model that you can change from Saul to Paul. And it is possible for someone to conform to our values and make money by doing clean content. So we are here to tell you, Mheshimiwa, that our desire is not to kill this talent. Our desire is not to frustrate the creativity of our youth. Our desire is to guide them. And we have offered as Music Corporate Society of Kenya to stand with him, to mentor him, to take him to any counseling, to any support that he might need, any classes that will help him utilize that energy in a manner that will give him more money. He can get into cooking, he can play, there's so much themes that we can work with Embarambamba to turn that creativity of jumping on fire and all those things that might injure him into something useful. What I like about him as I conclude is the fact all of us are agreeing to the fact that the language and some of the words are not very nice. Even Mheshimiwa agrees, even Wakili. But how do we make this product a better product for our society, Kenya? That's the process we have started today. We are very grateful to Mheshimiwa that he could spare his time. We have spent 3 hours this afternoon going through this matter. Embarambamba has given his version through Wakili and Dunstan Omari. We have given our version as the people representing musicians in Kenya, and we have listened to KFCB in terms of the Films and Stage Plays Act and the violations that have been done. we have all come into the conclusion that we will move to the ADR and help this product to become a better contributor to development of our country.
Now, members of the fourth estate, we had a meeting in the afternoon under the stewardship of the Majority Whip, Silvanus Osoro, Mheshimiwa. Now, you will recall that on the 28th day of February 2024, there was a letter that was written, or a demand that was written by the Kenya Films Classification Board that demanded an amount of about 6.4 million shillings from Mr. Embarambamba, our client. Now, following that demand, we put in a response which of course necessitated a meeting between the Kenya Films and Classification Board and ourselves so that we can try and find a common ground so that we can also save the talent and the kind of ministry that Mr. Embarambamba has been doing. Now, just to summarize, is that we have agreed under the spirit of Article 157 of the Kenyan Constitution, which promotes 159 of the Kenyan Constitution, we have agreed that it is the responsibility of us to ensure that we promote reconciliation by exploring the different tools that are there in law, particularly negotiation, so that we can save the face and the talent that Mr. Embarambamba here possesses. So for that, we are going to have follow-up meetings to ensure that we reconcile what the Kenya Films and Classification Board wants and what Mr. Embarambamba needs to do. So I think with that, I thank the members of the fourth estate. I thank Mheshimiwa for his stewardship. I thank my senior, Mr. Danstan Omari, and equally I applaud Mr. I apologize profusely, yes, Dr. Ezekiel Mutua for his guidance. Thank you.
The fact is that these artists or these people living within our society are our subjects. They are the subjects of the Music Copyright Society of Kenya. They are subjects of Kenya Film and Classification Board. And they also are subjects as people's representative. And they are subjects to the learned friends, to the lawyers, to the advocates of the High Court. And we must learn to live with them. If it really doesn't kill, then you can actually rectify it. You don't really need to hit from us, and I think the point that has come out from this whole meeting is that we're actually killing a mosquito using a hammer. It's something that we can sit down and try and engage and talk and say, okay, you need now going forward to give clean content. You have talent, you're already known, you have so many subscribers, so many followers, or rather a massive following in your YouTube channel, in your social media. Now that is enough. You're already up there at the peak. Can you change a little bit from Saul to Paul? Can you adjust part of your content? That is exactly what the discussion was about. Now, where you faltered, instead of being really given a serious punitive retribution, can it be reviewed? Because you represent also a subject of people who earn peanuts, a subject of people who are paupers. So those are the things that we're also engaging to the regulator, the KFCB, and gladly they've actually accepted. And when we go to that level, we then pushed it further to now alternative dispute resolution mechanism, other than normal judicial process, normal court process, that maybe could have had him, tried in the court of law, then of course fined or something like that. I mean, really, you're not helping, because as KFCB, you need such license fee, and you also need clean content in the market. You need to change characters. As the Music Copyright Society, you need members to grow. Such is a community. And as you can see today, very unusual of him, Embarambamba is quietly listening to us as we talk. Yeah. He's not jumping up and down. That in itself should show you that even the 3 hours that we had a meeting were not in vain. In normal circumstances, you would have seen him jumping over the cameras. So there is progress, and it must be gradual. You don't expect it to happen quite fast overnight as like instant coffee. So it's something gradual, and it's part of our society, people, and I'm happy that is also accepted. In any case, by the way, there is progress. Out of the 1,500 videos that are uploaded in YouTube channels, he's been able to delete
over 300.
Over 500.
Oh.
Over 500 to edit them, and some completely deleted to fit in the content that is fit for society. I mean, really, please, you've already followed him with bad content, and so I think Now he's got good content going forward. Please continue following him, give him encouragement, and support his industry so that he can also be able to educate his children and grow his industry. Thank you very much.
Kusaliwa mupya, ukiona hii sura ninaenda kusaliwa mupya. Kwa hivyo support me, subscribe my YouTube channel and enjoy. Wow.
After the meeting, Ezekiel Mutua said that his ultimate goal is to mentor artists like Embarambamba to use their creativity, energy, and massive following to contribute meaningfully to the national development. He said that they had made the decision to pursue alternative dispute resolution mechanism to resolve the issues concerning his unpalatable content, as he encouraged him to create clean content. That meant that Embarambamba is off the hook. Let's see what he'll do next.